I'm rolling now.
2. Let me get back here. Okay, let's start this thing.
We're going to move along. We were talking about what happened that made you decide that the monastery wasn't safe for you anymore.
So, in our Tibet, all the big monasteries is like, it's not like a small village monastery. It's a big monastery, like around like 800 monks, more than 1,000 monks. So we have a, like a kind of pressure of the Chinese military.
What's wrong?
Do you take the little bit?
Wind spring? Yeah. It's getting too noisy?
No, you gotta put it because that one always
That helps you?
protect, of course. That protect. You see now?
Alright, you think that's better? Keep going, we're rolling.
Okay, so we're talking about monasteries. You're telling me that there are big monasteries.
Yeah, there's a big monastery in each and every state. So lots of the state monastery, they already closed. Like 50% of monastery they already closed. They only open for the museum kind of things. So when the tourist comes, they can visit there, but nobody lives there. Only kind of some kind of like a workers, like as a monk, but he lives there like a 10 or 5. They clean the monastery and they do something like a guidance work for the tourists who come to visit. So like some kind of my monastery is like they destroy in 1980s time, 1960s time. They destroy everything. So they are like only 2 houses left, like for the monks, and they again build up. And finally it was like a kind of 800 people they can stay there, but still nobody can stay there because everybody is going to home. Each and every month, like 4 or 5 months, we stay in our home. We cannot stay there because of the Chinese military. So we cannot have a big event there. We cannot have a big kind of auspicious day. We cannot celebrate because it's all about the Chinese military. So we have to get the approval from the Chinese government. So when they give the approval, then we can organize the event. Otherwise, we cannot do nothing. So you are here by self. You can learn, but not in an open way. Like I'm learning this, I'm doing this, blah blah blah. I'm praying for this. No. Even if you have like His Holiness picture, His Holiness teachings, they're gonna destroy. They're gonna destroy you. They're gonna destroy everything, whatever belong to His Holiness. So it means that's why when you are in the monastery, so that makes you feel like you are in the blacklist of the Chinese government. So it makes you like from inside you are not safe there. So when you are even in your home, somebody is watching you, so you are not feel safe. So the parents and the teachers, they are telling us how to preserve our culture and our religion in our country. So we have no choice. So that's why we have to run away from the country, and then we have to stay like India, like Nepal. So most of them are like in India. So like millions of people are in India. So they live there and they settle there.
So at some point you decided to come to the United States.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to do that?
So when I flew from my country, so when I ran away from my country, so my mom was telling me that you have to continue your monk because you have been a monk for a long time. So you need to continue and preserve our culture so you can help our people when you're back to home. So now, in my case, I have not that feelings to go and continue my learning things because when I traveled to Nepal, so I was like so I went through lots of horrible times, terrible times. So I spent like more than 18 days in the mountains. So when I passed these things, and then even I don't feel safe in Nepal. So I was like in the border side. I stayed like 1 month, and I was praying for somebody else, and they are giving me foods, 3 times foods. So that's what I pray for them. We are like 10 people, so we all are monk, and 2-3 they are like normal people. So we stay there like 1 month to save some money and then come to the India. So then somehow after 1 month, so I go to the capital city, and then I have some village people there. So I go there and I stay there, their home, and then like finally after 3 months, I need to go to the India. So when I go to the India, so I paid lots of money in border, so I feel not safe there. So somehow, and then my uncle, they are saying it's not safe there because politically the Chinese government and the Indian government, they are very, very close, and so whenever some people that are coming from the Tibet, so they will gonna put the spy, and then they will they will throw you back, and then they will detain you in the Chinese government. So I was feeling not safe. So that's why I feel like as per my uncle friend, so they decided to send me to the USA. So I just flew USA by the different passport,
So
There's a lots of incident happen when you are run away from the country. There's lots of people killed in the mountain. They are watching you from the mountain. So like lots of military, they are watching you. There's lots of snipers. Even recently, like 2010, 2015, lots of people they killed, and some of them are saying that you will be fortunately not get shot, but in front of your people they get shot and they die on the spot. So these things are happening. So the things that way. So whenever they deport you, so it means you are going against the Chinese government. So politically, and then politically, and then as per religion, so we have no religion freedom. So whatever they want to do is they're gonna put you in somewhere else. Even your father, even your mother, they cannot reach there. So nobody knows that. Even your parents, even your village, even your state, nobody knows that. There's no any record where you are. There's no any record where they detain you.
What?
No any record. There's no any register,
There's no register?
Yeah, there's no any register. Your son is here. Your son is here with us. There's nobody else giving a message. So their parents gonna be you are not exist. They don't feel like you are detained by Chinese government, but they never know. When you get back, when you killed, when you punish, what kind of food they give you, they never know. So actually, ma'am, if I want to say about my father, they detained my father for the 4 days. So they have a kind of information.
So when you say that again for me, because I want detained.
Yeah.
Or you
So
can say detained or held or
yeah,
prison, whatever.
they held in the prison for the 4 days.
Who
And
did they do that?
my father.
Okay, so
Yeah.
one complete sentence.
So my father was detained by the Chinese government for the 4 days in 2003. So I have no idea. So that time I have no any idea. So when I get back to home in 2008, so my mom told me these things. So she kept a 5-year secret because maybe I'm gonna be comes out with something else. So she don't want to take risk. So she just keep herself with herself. And then after 5 years, she shared me these things. So that time they beat him. They put him in this finger, and then they put one iron, and then they just there's no clothes. He's naked, and then they put like this. Hand is up, and there's a iron plate, and it's like this. Only you can depend on these things. And there's only this feet like this, and you cannot reach totally down. So they put you 1 day. So without no water, without no food, sometimes they just put you like this, and they will beat you, and they will electronically torture you in your body. So they are asking you lots of questions, and there's a lot of bullshit questions. And you are doing this for what? For why? So they keep me, my father, 4 days. So when he came back, so they paid lots of money. My mom, she said 30,000 Chinese money she paid, and she borrowed from my uncle. So then she paid the money, and then they let him go out. So they have no proof to show them he is doing spy, or he is going against the Chinese government. So they have no any proof. So they let him out. So she paid lots of money that time. there's no way. There's no way to come and you get your passport and you go to the American embassy and I'm going for the study, I'm going for the work. There's totally no, big no. Ma'am, when I landed to the JFK airport, I was like a kind of very nervous. So I have no idea how to get in because I already gave my passport to the agent. So what he taught me is you have to go there, you stay like 2-3 hours outside, don't go to the immigration, just stay there, hang around there, just spend the time, and then you go there. Because whenever they ask you the questions, so you have to say different things, and then they will not gonna understand that you landed that time. So I went there like after 2 hours to the immigration, and then I said I have no passport, I have no ID, and that officer he called somebody else in the radio. So somebody came, like a big officer he came, and then he took me there in the immigration section, and then I was like, okay, now, and they put me like 12 hours there and asking me lots of questions, how you get there. They have a lots of suspicious questions, and I all reply them. And finally one guy came around like 9 o'clock. I was reached there like 2 o'clock, so like evening 9 o'clock. So somebody came and they put me in one small cell, and then they took me the interview like half an hour, and they just record everything in the computer, and then they said finally, okay, you want to go to the detention center now. And then one of the officers he told me like you're going to be like it takes like 1.5 years to get the asylum. So he asked me, you are here for asylum? I said yes, I'm here for asylum and I'm from Tibet. And they are still telling me that you are not from Tibet, you are from China. So I said no, I'm from Tibet, I don't want to say China. But still when they type the Tibet, it shows China. So it means the world is corrupted. And then even the world, they don't know independent country of name of Tibet. So the thing is like this. So that's why even you go to the Google, you cannot find Tibet as an independent country. You can find it's all under the China. So everybody's thinking that it's a part of China, but it's not a part of China. Before 1959, we have an independent country. It's a freedom country. We have our own king. We have our own religion. We have everything's our own. But now everything is ups and down. Actually, when I come here, I was talking with the agent in India. So he told me like you have to stay there like 1 or 2 months. Within 1 or 2 months, the Tibetan people, they get the asylum and they will get out. It's very easy. So I was like, okay, 1 or 2 months is okay. For me, it's not a big deal because I travel like 1 month to get here. And then I was like, okay. And then when I come here, here's a different story. And the President Trump, he's giving a hard time for the immigrations. So when I get here, the officer told me that from the airport, he told me like it will take like 1.5 years to get the asylum, or maximum 6 months you have to stay there. And I was like, I feel very down. I don't feel good. But I was just keeping myself, take it easy. It will be all okay. And I was just praying for His Holiness. And then finally, I was there since May 2nd to January 7, 2019. So I was there in May 2nd, 2018. So I was total like 8 months and 1 week.
Was it fun?
I feel cry sometime.
I didn't understand.
I feel cry sometime,
Yeah.
I feel cry.
It wasn't, Trump says it's like camp.
Yeah. It was not good, They will treat you like animals inside. So some officers, they have no manner to talk. They don't treat you like as a human being. Some officers, they are good, but most of the officers, they are not good. So they treat you like you are like a criminal, and maybe you kill somebody else outside and you come here. So they treat you like this. So we are not like that. So I'm always keep telling them, we are not like that people. So you have to talk us like respectfully. So if you give respect, you can get respect. So, but and somehow in these 8 months, I never argue with anyone. So it means like it's not a good time, but I make friends there. As a human being, you have to make a friends. And so you are talking each other, so you can find somebody else there. So there's lots of Central American people, like Spanish people, they don't understand English, but still, we are talking with them, playing with them. And if you go through the timetable, so we have like a 3 meals, like a 7 o'clock breakfast and 12 o'clock lunch and then 5 o'clock dinner. So that's it. So you have to survive on these 3 foods, and they will not give you enough food to eat. They just give you like a minimum food. After 2 hours, you will get hungry. So you have to manage by yourself. So if you have money, you can buy something else by the commissary. If you have no money, that's it. So you have to go through the people and ask for the food. Actually, ma'am, when I reached there, they put me on a van with the all handcuff. I think myself, I'm a very big criminal. I was watching around, I was looking around, I think somebody's gonna take a picture or something else, but it was like a kind of 3:30 around in the morning. So nobody was there. I feel lucky, nobody was there. So they take me by the different way, it's a secret way, so nobody was there on the way. So somehow outside, some people are there, but they don't care about these things. So they put me in the van. It takes like 45 minutes, but I feel like a 1.5 hour. They are just bumping and they put me on the dark. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know anything about these things. And I asked the officer, where we are going? And he said, Elizabeth Detention Center. So how much is far? Oh, we are reaching. We're coming soon. So finally we get there around like a 4:15, something like that, after 45 minutes. And then they put me in the cell. It was too cold inside. There's no food, nothing else. But they give us like a kind of frozen that apples and those things. I don't want to eat it. I throw it that one. So they keep me like around like 5 hours there. I feel slept, so I just slept there. There's a iron bench. I sleep there. Very, very small. No white, very small. So I sleep there like 5 hours. After 9 o'clock, they call me. And then they said, fingerprints, and what is your name, and blah, 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 where are you from, everything. And then they put me in the cell inside the dome. So when I go there, there's 44 people. So everybody's sleeping. So I went there. And then somehow, ma'am, like day by day, the day passed by. I have nobody's visit. Every time the officer, they are calling, hey, number this, you have a visit. Number this, you have a visit. Nobody calling my number. It means like 1 month. And then I hear by some officers, there's some Tibetan guy, there's 2 guys from Tibet. So they are here for the long time, like 9 months that time. So they said, one is he's working in the kitchen, in the detention center. So I try to put the request and I give it to the officer, and then they let me allow like after 2 weeks. It takes like 2 weeks because they want to clarify my medication and everything. So finally I went to the kitchen and I met Lobsang Chudup. And I think I can say like, he's like my brother, like. So he's the one, like a kind of breakthrough. And he gave me the idea about the first friend. And he told me about to call this organization, they're going to help you because I have nobody else outside. And then I called 8996, that's the hotline of the first friend. I never forget this in my life. So I called them, and then I leave the message, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. After 4 days, 5 days, after 1 week, and then somebody picked up the call, and it was Sally Pillay. And then she says, she was going like, hi, how are you, like, And then I feel so warm because I never talk in the phone. So I just talked with her once, and that was a lady, and she was so warm, and she was so supportive. And then she said, okay, I'm going to help you. We're going to help you. Don't worry. Just keep pray, and then keep calm. So just be yourself. And then they sent me somebody else. His name is Eric. And then he is the principal of the public school in New York. So he came to visit me, and after that, one lady came, So they are a couple. So one couple, then they are calling D1 and D2. And then, so finally, the husband name is David, and the wife name is Deborah. So I love her so much. So ma'am, somebody came, and then, actually ma'am, my first expression was so uncomfortable. I feel so nervous. What kind of visit it could be like, I was like I was confused myself. So how can I explain them? How can I trust them? So finally, the day passed by, I getting close and close, and her wife, the ma'am Deborah, she was visiting me every week. So I feel like a mom. So in my language, I cannot say auntie, I cannot say nothing else. I can just say American mom. In my language, Ari Ama. So I feel like that way. So she was helping me every time. So I have nobody else. I have no single idea how to collect the evidence. So whatever.
Again, I don't say that again. You have no idea?
So I have no idea to get the evidence to how to prove myself as a Tibetan guy. So even you can speak Tibetan language, but there's my fellow Tibetan Paldin and the Lobsang Chuduk, they are saying that they want to see the Tibetan ID, like a Chinese ID. And I was going like, okay. And we have no chance to show that. We have no any single option to show that. How can we show that? So they will never going to provide us these things. So how can we show that these things? So I was going like, oh my God, so how can I get out from here? If they ask me about these things, so I'm going to stuck here for the long time. There's no way to get out. So finally, the day passed by, and then there's the one saying that everything happens by the reason. So it came like this. So I got the American friend's lawyer through the first friend, so they are working together. Then I talked with them, Madam Deborah, and then we are working together. So she's the one collecting my evidence and everything about the Tibetan human rights, about His Holiness. So what kind of condition in the India, what kind of condition in the Tibet. So she's the one helping me every time.
So, and there were other.
Ma'am, actually what happened is like, I have one bedmate. He's from Ecuador. He has a visit every time. In some point, after like 2-3 months, he has no visit, because his wife and his wife, maybe she get tired because he was here for a long time, and she don't want to get she don't. I think because of the money or something else, she don't want to visit. So I am the one who have no visit in the beginning, but end of the day, I have every week, I'm a busy, like, and then I have a visit in Friday, I have a visit in Saturday, I have a visit in, sometimes I have a visit in, but Sunday and Saturday and Sunday is every day, like every week, 2 days I'm busy. So I'm putting on my calendar, like in my mind, Friday I have a visit, and Saturday I have a visit. So ma'am, like there's a name called Hiba, and then her mom, so they are so sweet. And I know them through the Madam Rhoda, so who came to my court at October 24, I think, October 24. So I have a master hearing that time. So she came to my court, and I was like, who is she? And then she's saying that I'm from New Sanctuary. So she's talking about the New Sanctuary. So they are the one who is making the for the asylum seekers, especially for the asylum seekers, they are making the group, and then they go to the court and they support him as a supporters. So I feel, so this all those things are making me so blessed, ma'am. Like finally. So what I think is, I feel blessed and I feel proud because I made the community there. So now, like in this unknown place, I make lots of friends. So that was, God bless me.
What happened?
It's about kind of like November. So I have a third master hearing, because of the documents, something else happened there, so something changed in the government procedures about the asylum seekers. So they postponed my court in November 28. So they gave me like a individual court in November 28. Because of the pro bono lawyer, so I have a, I'm not going to say that they are bad, but they are unexperienced. They have no experience about the immigration law. So in the beginning, I have no idea, so I need to accept those because I have no lawyers, so I need to accept that. So I cannot ignore them. So they came through all these days, and then they are trying to help me, but finally in November 28th, there something happened. So I have 3 lawyers. Could I say the name? Not good, right?
Yeah, we won't use it, so you can say it.
Yeah, and there's 3 ladies. So I'm not going to say the name. It's okay. And those 3 ladies are kind of like one is sick, one is pregnant, she cannot fly, and one is in the out of country. So they said we couldn't reach there in the November 28th, so we need to postpone the court. And I was going like because I didn't pay nothing else, so I cannot say like, oh, you have to come there because I need to get out this date and blah blah blah. So I cannot say those things because. So then finally I talked with Madam Debra, and then she said, okay, we're going to find somebody else. So we have no option to go with them, because if we start to go with them, it's going to take a long time, and at the same time they have no experience, so we know that. So at the same time we have two experts. So one is the Robert Thurman and one is the Great Adal. So even they have no any information about the Great Adal. So we talked more than like 3 months ago, but they have no any evidence, and they have no affidavit letter from Great Adal. So the thing is, only I have like my cousin letter, and then this expert, the Robert Thurman later. So that's it. So when I ask about the evidence and when I ask about these things, and they are saying, oh, we are not prepared, so we are just doing this, we are editing them, blah blah blah. And then I was going like, okay, ma'am. So I talked with everything. I talked with Madam Debra, and she said, okay, we need to change the lawyer. I will pay for you. We need to change the lawyer. And then somehow we find somebody else. His name is Aaron, and then he's a good guy. So I saw him, like within 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks, yeah.
2 days.
2 days.
Yeah, I hired him on Friday. and
Mm,
came to see him on Monday.
Yeah. And then finally he came to meet me, and around like a morning 8 o'clock, he called me around 8 o'clock. I was in the warehouse. I go there, and he was the tall guy, and very friendly, very frankly, and he makes me feel good. He makes me like feel very comfortable. And then we talk about my case, and he was like, we're going to win the case. You don't worry, we're going to win the case. That's it. We go through some question answer, and then we have a nice conversation, like 2 hours. And then he was like, okay, I'm going to create all the questions, and we go through each and everything by the phone or by person to person, so we can discuss about these things. And then he created the 40 questions within 2 weeks, and then he sent me one copy by mail. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
fine.
okay, yeah. And then, and then what happened is like, I go through the, I call him in the around 3 o'clock. I don't remember the date, but I go through the phone, and I call him, and we talk like 1 hour, continue, and we go through all the question answer, and then he was like so ready to go. And then somehow I get the date on January 7, 2019, so I was waiting for that date. And then, like before 1 week, I was praying and thinking about myself, and Madam Debra, she went out of country. I feel so bad that time, actually, I feel so bad. I was like, I feel that 1 week is like a kind of 1 month. I feel that bad because of I call her 2 times, but there's no any response. So I feel so sad. I know that she's in vacation, but still, like I cannot say like I'm sad, but still I feel very bad inside. But she's not around here, so I feel like kind of alone, and like. But still, the Hiba and her mom, they are giving me company. They are coming to visit me like twice and maybe thrice at the week, and then finally she came out in Sunday, and we talked like 1.5 hours, and the next day we have a court date. To be honest, ma'am, since the morning until I sleep, I'm just praying, because I have no any work. I'm just praying and praying and praying and praying and praying. Each and every time I'm praying. If I don't pray, I sleep. So I get up. I have a small doubt in my down there. Maybe something gonna happen. So what gonna be? What gonna you do? I stopped to think about this Tuesday. I stopped to think about Tuesday in this detention center. I swear to God, ma'am. I don't think about these things. In some point, after like 2-3 hours, again I'm thinking, oh, they might give me 1 month more. So what are you gonna do? I'm asking myself, and I'm just keeping praying and praying and praying. And then there is some good wife. I can feel that. So I'm kind of like a 90% and 10%. Like I have a 10%. Maybe they're gonna give me the more time. Maybe they're gonna ask me like more papers and more documents about my family or about myself, like kind of documents things. So finally, ma'am,
So Monday comes.
Monday comes. They call me 8 o'clock. This crazy officer, they call me 8 o'clock because I have a court in 10 o'clock. And still they call me 11 o'clock. But they keep me in the room like 3-4 hours doing nothing else. I'm just waiting and waiting. But they call me 8 o'clock, and 9 o'clock, Aaron came to visit me. So we go there, half an hour, 20 minutes. We just briefing each other. That's it. And then he go to the court. He want to talk to the clerk. So I go myself, and they put me in the cell. Where 18 people there. One by one, everybody's finished. I'm the only one there. And I'm praying and praying and praying and praying. That small cell is very stinky because there's a bathroom there and everybody's using that one. So 18 people are there. They're very stinky. At the same time, they have a warm air. They put warm air. So I'm praying. Finally, I think it's 11 o'clock. They call me, Lobsang. I thought it was in the small room. There's a 2 court. One is the big court, one is the small court. So I think it's in a small court, but they call me. No, not there. It was here. So when I went inside, I see all the ladies there. And I shook hand with Madam Debra. So I can reach very easily, like she's there. So I cannot go through that way, but because the officer, I know he gonna stop me. So I just went inside. And I sat inside, and ma'am, I don't want to take risk because I choose the interpreter because I don't want to take risk because if they ask me some difficult questions, so I don't want to take that risk. So that's why I took the interpreter. That's why I asked to my lawyer to get me the interpreter. So there's the interpreter, and then I talked with him, and he was like explaining me everything, whatever the judge say. And then ma'am, that government lawyer, she's kind of tough in the beginning. I know she's acting, but she's okay. But she's acting. She act like I'm a kind of, oh, you cannot get out. You cannot, like you don't. She was kind of showing some attitude, but my lawyers, he makes kind of like an easy way, and then he was like kind of friendly with her, and then, I can see that because I can hear that all the conversation what is going on, and I can understand everything. I just feel that, Lobsang, take it easy, everything gonna be okay. So she's asking about the identification. I want to show that Palden BIA letter to her face, like, see this. And then, but I cannot do that. So finally, they are trying to call the expert, and they try to go to the great adult. So I want Robert Thorman first, and then I don't know what's going on behind, and then finally they call Robert Thorman first, and then they talk like 5 minutes. He was keep going and keep going and keep going. The Robert Thorman makes her silence. She has no any question. Even the judge, he has no questions. He said, "That's it. Thank you, Dr. Thorman." So, ma'am, after a few minutes, and they said, "Oh, I have no any question. I have no any further question." So that's it. I granted the asylum. There's no any further argument. Doug, thank you, Lobsang. I was like, even I couldn't see my lawyer because he is busy with that government lawyer. And I cannot even say that thank you so much because he was like this. And then I was reaching to my ladies, and then they are like, oh my God, they're almost like crying like a small baby. And I don't want to feel that much big, like I don't want to show that much like my impression, because I want to be calm, because I don't feel that much, because I was staying long time, ma'am, so it's like 8 months. So I was hoping that it's 6 months, but it was like a long time. So I cannot feel that much enjoyment in this victory. But finally I get out. When I feel that air, like it comes through my face like a cha cha cha, I can feel like I'm in the mountain, because it was like same in my country. It was hit you in your face, cha 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 cha. And I want to feel that. I don't want to cover my face. I want to feel that. So the development told me, "Oh, you have to cover." No. I don't want to cover. I want to feel that. I want to feel. Even the Hiba, she wants to carry me, like she wants to give me something else to wear. I said no. I don't want that. Nothing. I was feeling so blessed, ma'am. Finally I get out in the 8 o'clock. Actually, ma'am, I'm planning to go there before the Christmas. Actually, So something happened in my case. So they give me the 6 weeks, 6 weeks more time, and then I spent like 6 weeks. Ma'am, I can say that it was my dream when I was teenage. I want to go to that place. I want to go to that place. I want to learn these things. I want to do something else different, so I can help my people like here. So in 2018, 31st of the December, 8 o'clock, they put the CNN there. So we cannot watch in 8 o'clock because there is a count time. Out of 8:45, they put the CNN there. It was showing that the CNN, they are showing the live about this Times Square and everything. And if you talk about the religion, I'm not a Christian, but still, like everybody is celebrating, so you have to be cheer up. So I'm just watching there. I see the lots of movies in the Times Square, but that was the special one. So somebody else, like a reporter, there's 2 reporters. They are giving their speech and blah blah blah. There's lots of things going on. Rainfall. Everybody's laughing. Everybody's cheering. I was thinking myself, if I get out before this date, I will be there. I was in the CNN, and at the same time I feel that, oh man, you are here. You are inside the detention center. So ma'am, so finally today I go there. It was a tiny place, but it was a very kind of crowd. I can feel the warmth. I can see like a different kind of people there. It's not only white. It's Asian, black, Spanish. Everybody's there. So I feel like a kind of, The thing is, ma'am, when I went to the Liberty statue, I feel really good, ma'am. I feel really, really good that time. I can see this. I can see the water floating there. I can see the boat is around there. So I feel so good. So that time I just feel, oh, I'm out. Lobsang, so you are out. Now you can feel yourself. You are in now.
Free.
Yeah, free. So I feel, ma'am, and today morning when I wake up, I just thank to God. I didn't pray, I just thank to God. Normally I do like a prayer like more than 40 pages of, I read every day. But today I didn't do that because I just want to say thank you so much. I don't want to say more. I just said thank you so much and thank you so much for everything. So when I went to the Liberty, I saw that lady is like this. I cannot see clearly, but I can feel that. Liberty means it's like a liberation, right? So in my language, you can call tharpa. Tharpa means you are free. Free from the sin or free from the stain like this. So tharpa. So you are free from this. You are free from the hell. You can say that. So I can feel that I am free from the detention center. So I am here now. So you are free. So when I see that David sir, and when I see the Wilton, I see different. I can see different, ma'am. Like I can see different. The morning when I see that Deborah and the David sir, when I see morning, it was different. When I see after the Liberty, when I reached there, it was different. So when I meet my lawyers again, so that was kind of like a, and I really feel I'm out. I'm out. Now I'm free. Now I can do whatever I want, except that bad things. Yeah, ma'am,
So I have one last question, which has to do with the things that
Yeah.
right there.
So, ma'am,
So there's gonna be
this one is
things from
the special one is this.
special things of the Dalai Lama. So
I think, ma'am, I'm not talking about this thing. I just want to talk about this because this is the one I see since my childhood. I see with my mom. So she is carrying these things. I think maybe more than 50 years old. So I was talking about these things with my lawyer also. I can see that picture in my mind every time. I can see here also His Holiness face, and behind there's a mountain, and downstairs there's a palace of His Holiness. I can see that. So when I ran away from my country, so my mom, she gave it to me and she said, just keep this safe. So this was inside the drawer for the long time, inside the mud for the long time. We cannot take it out because of this Chinese military. So they come to visit, they came to visit my home 3 times. They check my everything. They destroy my prayer room, everything. So we cannot keep those things openly. So when I see this is my precious things, ma'am. So you can see all the stains there. It's very old. It's more than 50 years old, this picture. He was so young that time. Maybe at 23, 24 he was.
say that again with the.
My Indian friend
Oh, okay.
who lives in India. And they are talking about English, they are talking about Tibetan, and then they are talking about the translation and blah blah these things. So we have not that much translator in Tibetan Tibet who can translate all this Tibetan philosophy in the English. So in some point when I was there, that time I want to be a Tibetan translator to English. So I could learn English and then I can translate my language to the English. So that's what I want to. I want to learn English very badly, very badly. So, ma'am, what was the question? What do you want to do in future, right?
Yeah.
Of course, ma'am. I want to learn English very badly. I can write, I can read, but still, there's the things the knowledge is like an ocean. So how much you reach, you cannot reach the earth. You have to go down and down and down. The knowledge is like an ocean, So it means how much I have a knowledge is not enough. So I need to learn more and more and more and more. So maybe, ma'am, like some people, they are giving me advice to getting me a lawyer. So I have no idea, but now I'm in like a cloud 9, so I have no idea. So let me go through this GED first, ma'am. I really want to go through this GED, and even I spoke with my friend outside. So he's also talking about the GED, and actually, ma'am, I have no good knowledge about the mathematics. So that's one is the very, very tough, I think. So now I don't know, but I think I'm gonna make it. So then, ma'am, let me gonna see, so what I want to become, like a lawyer or whatever it is, So now, ma'am, I think, ma'am, I stay in like a detention for 8 months, and I see only the lawyers, judge, lawyer. So in my mind is everything is about lawyer. So I want to be a lawyer, but maybe I'm going to be changed, like after 1 month or 2 months, after GED, I pass the GED and everything. Oh, no, not that one.
Okay, one more. I realized I jumped ahead. I have one more question. It's
Yeah.
just a little bit sadder. There's one more Tibetan that's in the
Oh.
detention center. And he's been there the longest.
Mm-hmm. So, ma'am, when I was there, so there's one guy from my dome, where we are 2 in my dome, where Tibetan guy, 2 in our dome, 2 in a different dome. So one guy, he left after, I think when we reached there, after 2-3 months he left. His name is Lobsang. And with him, one guy is there, his name is Palden. So he is still there. So I feel very bad for him. I feel very bad. But I think we're gonna go to meet him in Sunday. So I'm gonna boost him up, I'm gonna make him laugh.
I think he's going to get out.
Yeah, he's gonna get out. Of course, I'm 100% sure. Even the ICE officer, they are saying that you Tibetan people are gonna be get out. Sooner or later, you guys are gonna be get out, because you guys are not going back. So you guys are getting out. So it means, ma'am, like God is always there. If you are honest for everything, so the day will come. It's only about the time. So you have to keep patience, and then the day will come, and then nobody can stop you. Automatically you will be out. Even the Tadal, she cannot do nothing.
Even to that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So